now that we have our product user control constructed and we have our labels in place and we're populating our labels from our product, we need to actually get this picture box set up as well. So let's start by giving it a name. We'll call it Picturebox product. And from there, we'll go ahead and then flip back over to our code. Now, with our Picturebox, it has an image property, and this image property is what we need to set to get the image to actually load up for the product. And the property itself is of type image. Now, the image type lives inside of the system.drawing namespace. So what we need to do is we need to go to system.drawing.image. And we'll see here that image is, according to the description, is an abstract base class that provides functionality for the bitmap and system.drawing.imaging.meta file. So what we actually need to do is we don't need to create an image itself, but we need to utilize the bitmap class, which inherits from image. So I'm going to go ahead and select that class, and then I'm going to do a quick peek, which is going to do a basic decompile. And what's happening here is that the metadata for the bitmap class that comes as part of the .NET framework is getting decompiled, and then it's giving us kind of an overview of the class. So you'll see here that bitmap inherits from image, and then there's additional functionality here. But we'll notice here that there's different constructors that we can use. We can pass in a file name, we can pass in a stream of bytes, or we can pass in an existing image. We can pass in a file name, and then whether we should use ICM, bytes and a resource, a stream, width and height if you want to do a new one, an original image with a new size, with height and pixel formats, with height and the graphic space, image, width and height. So there's a lot of different overloads here that we can use. So we're going to go ahead and use the bitmap. So we'll say new bitmap image. And let's look through all of our different overloads here and figure out which one may work for us. So you see there's a lot that take in an image, some that take in a graphic, width and height, and we're back to the beginning. So the problem we just realized is that we do not have one that will take in our byte array. So in order for us to get our byte array in here, we actually need to use one of these existing overloads. So what we could use is we could take our bytes and write them to a disk and then pull them back out, but we have a lot of images to deal with. So one of the things that would function better, and we'll talk more about this in later video tutorials, is the use of a stream. And what a stream is it's basically a continuous series of bytes that can be processed asynchronously. So instead of taking all those bytes like we have in a byte array and putting them in memory, we can actually read or enumerate through a stream and do it just a little chunk at a time and still be able to get through and read all of those bytes. So what we need to do is we basically need to take our byte array and we need to store it in a stream that we can then pass into the bitmap constructor so that we can get our image box loaded. So what I'm going to start out with is I'm going to start out with declaring a stream variable. So stream, and that lives inside of the system.io namespace. So we're going to add a using statement, and then we'll say that this is our pick stream. And then I'm going to set this equal to what's referred to as a memory stream. And a memory stream is exactly what it sounds like. It's a stream that you create in memory. And one of the options that you can pass into a memory stream is a byte array. So we're going to use _product.picture. And we're basically going to store our byte array into a memory stream. Now from here we can say pick stream and pass in that stream into the bitmap, and then that bitmap will then be stored in the image property of our Picturebox. So that is the steps that we would use to take the bytes from our database. We would store them into a memory stream, and memory stream derives or inherits stream. So stream is a base class, and memory stream is one of those implementations. There's also file streams and other types of streams. But we're going to create a memory stream and store it inside of the pick stream variable. And then we'll take that stream and then pass it into the bitmap constructor, which will create our image that we then load into our Picturebox. So that'll get all of those pieces in place, and then our next step will be to go ahead and actually attach our user control to our search results form.